man, so reliable. Like, you just get in them and go. And if they break, they're a dime a dozen. Like, literally, this motor was like $250 from the junkyard. This is an eBay turbo, 120 bucks. They handle boost so well. It's tuned on fuel tech, but I feel like this is gonna come out pissed off. Yep. Trailer.
Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. When the truth don't work, you start telling lies. Thought you were down to ride, you weren't down to ride. Caught switching, you were picking sides. Don't blink, caught slipping like a slip and slide. I was shooting dice till I got a nosebleed. Money on the floor, can't get cold feet. Took a L, should've put it in the offering. Lord, forgive me for my sins, don't know of me. Scary thoughts, I got scary thoughts. Lost control, now I'm taking charge. Breaking bills, friends breaking off. You could be the youngest, I'm the dawn. Kiss the ring, nah. In the scene like GOT. Stay awake, don't sleep. Like Jon Snow, get R.I.P. Remember those days, those L's, I couldn't sleep right now. I get paid, vacay, I'm staying B-side. Breaking the blues over steak, I gotta eat right. You could be my peace sign. I don't need that energy around me. I just need sun, you're so cloudy. I wake up good, you're so grouchy. Please get from around me. Just me, myself, and I'm my favorite threesome. The cars I drive by, I never lease them. They say if you can't beat them, then you join them. That's no option, I don't join, I always beat them. I was fake, you had to find me. Now I'm on beat, skating like I'm grinding. L hit me, said it's all about the timing. If you want the vision, get to spinning. My mama told me trust in God, it's never limits. Now I'm on the scoreboard, running up the digits. I put in work, you know I'm up to get it. Early bird gets the worm and the Yankee fitted. Like whoa, bags under my eyes and you know. Won't complain, I'm tired, I'm on go. For that grip, 10 toes till they swole. For that.
Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. You've probably already seen in the clips where we're at and on me bringing the Hyundai home. I thought it was time to kind of bring you guys some content and show you guys what I've been doing outside of the truck. Sometimes, man, there's only so much I can show you when it's raining outside and I'm going to the same customers doing the same thing. I think this is not, even if you're not a car guy, I think this stuff is cool to watch and follow along and see the progression on something that is a throwaway car. A lot of people run these cars to the ground and just ditch them for 300 bucks. And yeah, I bought this thing for 300 bucks with a blown automatic transmission when I was already gonna put a manual transmission in it. And yeah, here she is. So the plan is, as you guys can see, I'm watching some SRC right now. But the plan is to basically fix this thing. I raced this thing for probably 2 seasons. I was very successful the first season. I ended up going 11-0 at 127 in this thing. The motor is completely stock. This is a junkyard engine that anyone can get from a Hyundai Elantra. You can get them from 97 all the way to like 2008 or 9 or 10. Like, They're plentiful. Like, they're a dime a dozen at the junkyard. Any given time you go to the junkyard, you'll see at least 6 of them sitting there. So it's a 2-liter. This car, this Hyundai Accent, comes stock with a 1.5 single cam. Let me turn this down. You did that burnout in the 55. So this thing comes stock with a 1.5 single cam, and you know, it's just a commuter car, a little 2-seater, whatever, or a little 2-door. It was a 4-seater, but I'm gonna eventually put the back seats back in it. But anyways, the plan is to basically, this is not a race car to me. Like, it is fast and it's fun, but it's not where I want to be, and it's not a car that I want to say is my race car. This car could get down with a lot of Hondas. I have a pretty good record against a lot of pretty decently fast Hondas. The car made like just under 400 horsepower a while back on like 18 pounds, and the turbo was actually getting worse and worse every pass. So I don't know what it makes now, but I've had it all the way up to 26 or 27 pounds of boost with a good turbo. So in my opinion, it probably makes 450 on a, and that's being conservative. It probably makes close to, I don't know, man. I mean, if it made just under 400 on 20 pounds, it was like more like 18 pounds. And it was like, the turbo was just like done. Like, the blade was broken. It was like barely holding boost. So if it made that, man, I'm being conservative about saying 450, but who knows, turned up like almost 30 pounds, it probably makes 500. Like, to be honest, it probably did. So on my 11.0 pass, I had this thing whipped up to 26 pounds. So anyways, guys, the plan is to not have this be a race car anymore. To me, this is a nostalgia for me. I grew up where I had a red one just like this, and it was like my first car I was like able to work on and do things to. I can insert some pictures and show you guys like kind of what that thing looked like. And I took that thing from nothing to just being like a fun little street car that was just, man, so reliable. Like, you just get in them and go, and if they break, they're a dime a dozen. Like, literally, this motor was like $250 from the junkyard. That transmission was like $100 and some. Yeah, it's an open diff, but it ran 11.0 like that. This is an eBay turbo, which you can get them for like 120 bucks. All the intercooler setup and all this is all fab together. Honestly, my plan is to probably reroute and probably redo the intercooler setup to something more just like cheap, easy, more universal, a little cleaner. This setup was nice because it came straight from the turbo, like directly almost into the intercooler right away, and then it just ran right up into the intake. And then also the exhaust, no more up pipe. No more up pipe. But as you guys can see, there's not a lot of room for a downpipe when you're running a top mount manifold like that. So my plan is as you can see, my lower radiator hose is over there. I would really like to have my buddy cut and re-weld the inlet down here. So if he does that, or even in the middle, if he does that, I can take this radiator and I could move it all the way against here, and then that gives me like probably 4 inches of clearance from the turbo over here. And I could even tilt it sideways. I can move it over enough, I think, to where I can do like a tight radius 90 and go straight down. Because honestly, like I said, I would really like to do full exhaust out the back and have this thing be very quiet. So another thing I can tell you guys is if you're looking for a fun, cheap car, this is it. Like, to build a car like this, it really costs like no money. Yeah, there's some key things you want to do to it. Like if you're really trying to go fast, E85 is the ticket, and like, you know, you want to upgrade the fuel system and do like nice stuff. But to be honest, there's not a lot of money wrapped up into this car, and this gets people into racing. This gets you next to guys that have K-Series all motor cars that, you know, are flying by. You could probably walk a K-Series all motor car, like for sure. You know, something that's fairly stock, maybe it has like a head or something, but you know, this thing right here will run right around a lot of cars. But I'll tell you guys, on like 15 pounds, I was able to be like pretty competitive in the 1150 index class. 15 pounds of boost, that's like nothing on this thing. Like it's a closed deck surface. The block is like closed, and they handle boost so well. It's tuned on Fuel Tech, but a lot of guys put them on Mega Squirt, and Mega Squirt is like a super cheap alternative for like a standalone ECU. You can get a Microtech for like under 400 bucks, and it'll control your fueling and your timing and all that stuff. So getting excited. But the goal is to make this a street car again, and I want to put AC back in this thing. Believe it or not, I almost want to go with a smaller turbo so it lights quick, full exhaust, clean up the piping, make everything look a lot cleaner, put the AC back in this thing, tint the hell out of it. And honestly, guys, the paint on this thing is very rough, but the car is fairly clean. Like there's no huge major dents. There are a couple, but I think I can have a guy come out and fix all the dents. But like, you know, like this has sun fade from just sitting outside from all the years. This is a 99, by the way. You can get this body style from 96 to 99, I believe it was, or maybe even 95. But the years you want is 97 to 99. I'm gonna probably throw the wing back on it. This is a GSI model, so this was their sportier model. It has power windows, power mirrors, and a sunroof. So only the GTs and the GSIs came with a sunroof. I did a rear disc conversion on this thing. Yeah, there's just a lot of time into this car. I did cage it because, you know, I was going to the track every weekend, and like I was already running 1150, and like you have to, you know, like you have to have a cage at 1150, and the guys were really sticklers about that stuff. So I did cage it. So this is good to like 10.0, I believe, which this car is never going to go 10.0 in my opinion. Like I don't care to go that fast in this thing. I have the Fox body, which I think you guys have seen a video of it. I'm like still working on that. It's at a buddy's shop. He's still got a lot to do with it. But in the meantime, this car is not working right now. I have to pull the motor and transmission out. And I'm going to redo, not everything, because I don't want to turn it into a big project. I'm going to put the motor on the engine stand. I'm going to do a new timing belt, water pump, because these are interference engines. So if you do, like if this belt breaks, the valves will meet the pistons. They will be talking to each other. So you don't want that. So it's going to get a new water pump timing belt. It's going to get a new thermostat gasket. It's going to get a new valve cover gasket, intake gasket, exhaust manifold gasket, probably new oil pan gasket. We'll probably do that. And then just clean it up a little bit. And then I need a new flywheel because this flywheel got a little bit chewed up. And these things are extremely, extremely sensitive to not having the proper plate that goes on the bell housing for the, like on the engine block side. They bolt in and they like align the starter. So if for some reason you guys are interested in building something like this, I kind of want to document this and throw part numbers. So if anyone is watching these videos later, they kind of know what to do. So I'm definitely going to give you guys part numbers. I'm going to just spill the beans because it took me and Edwin and all the Hyundai guys community like years to figure all this stuff out, because when we were like younger and we had just started with these things, no one wanted to help us at all. Like no one would send us any information. No one would tell us anything. Like Edwin was the one that was like, knew everything about it, you know, and knew most of the stuff, like what to do. And a lot of it's like trial and error, but like now technology's gone so far to where you can kind of put one of these together in your sleep. Just common sense, like it's really not that difficult. Whew, I'm out of breath. Yeah, these things are very simple. But like I said, I just want to clean everything up. So the fastest way for me to do this is just pull the motor out. And while I'm at it, I'm going to kind of go through all this stuff. I bought a new wiring harness. See, I wired all this stuff myself, and it doesn't look the best, and I'm not happy about it. I honestly wired it like I didn't even think this stuff would work. Like I was just like, oh, whatever, I'll just put it together. It's probably not going to work anyway. But I ended up getting a new Fuel Tech harness. It's a 4-cylinder harness, and I'm going to show you guys what all I had to do to make that 4-cylinder harness work. I know there's a couple pins that I'm gonna have to repin and put my connectors on it, but that ain't no big deal, man. We'll get that figured out. That ain't gonna be no big deal at all. And I run GM sensors, like GM coolant sensors, GM intake air temp sensors, and like most of that stuff will just like plug right in. But guys, I really want to wrap this thing gray. Gray meet red, red meet gray. Like this gray on this guy would be so sick. Like, you know, new headlights, clean the bumper up. Like I got another fresh bumper over there that I'll wrap that fresh one gray, and just like clean gray with like super dark tints, even tint the front windshield. And who knows, I'll probably even leave these wheels like bronze like that. I think gray with bronze wheels wouldn't be bad because it kind of gives it a breakup and everything. Like it's not like too much, but I'd almost think about getting them powder coated black. But gray's not bad, or I mean, bronze is not bad. That's a nice bronze. So, and I do run this thing on R888s. So this is a 225/50/15. This is a pretty damn big tire for this thing, for the front. See how it kind of bulges out against the tire, or against the wheel, like out. This is like perfect tire. It doesn't fit in the fenders very well. Like it kind of sticks out in the front, but like that's what gives it like the aggressive look. So, you know what I mean? It is what it is. But anyways, guys, enough of me blabbering. It's time to get the motor out, get this thing on the engine stand, and start processing what needs to come next. But I'm telling you guys, I have this image in my head of this thing gray, tinted out, looking clean, pristine, tire shine, everything clean, mint, with like, this image of just like a 90-degree day, cruising down the road, and like windows up, dark tints, and people are like, what the hell is that thing, with a front mount intercooler and like full exhaust? Like, I'm telling you guys, if I could make this thing if I could go back, I would have never taken any of the interior apart. Like, I would have kept this thing super stock, but I did keep it pretty stock. Like, it still has carpet, it still has door panels, it still has headliner. The only thing I took out was the back seats and like the back trim and stuff like that, and then I caged it, obviously. But that's not that big of a deal. Kirky seats, very comfortable. I like them. This thing sits damn near on the floor. That's the way I like to drive. Peterbilt. I'm talking about, come on. And I'm gonna put the other Kirky in there, and we're gonna mount that on the floor. Like, it's gonna be, and you know, the steering wheel, like, this is a better feeling steering wheel than like the stock one. I still have the stock one, but like, this is a little bit better. That was a cheap eBay steering wheel too. Like, I don't know, like cheap eBay short throw guy there. I don't know, guys. Like, I'm fascinated with like street car stuff these days. Like, if I could get this thing to go 1150s full interior. Like, I'm gonna try to source a back seat again, and I'm gonna try to, even if I have to notch the hell out of the back seat, I don't care. I want to throw a back seat back in it, and might not be doable. I'm looking at the bars right now. Nah, looking too good, but we might be able to make it work, maybe. But I'm just fascinated with like seeing this thing wrapped gray, tinted out on a 90-degree day, just AC cranking, radio on. Like, dude, that shit is cool. Like, and then if I could take this, like, I got slicks and skinnies in the back. Like, if I could just swap wheels and tires and literally with AC, full weight interior and still go 1150, forget about it. This is the coolest thing you can, obviously, it's not the coolest car out there. Like, if I had to do it all over again, I probably wouldn't have ever bought one of these things. But I have bought them, and I've had a couple of them, and they're dear to my heart from when I was younger. And when I was 16, I got my first one. And honestly, guys, this is what got me working with my hands for no money. I didn't have a lot of money. This car, I just can't get rid of it because it excites the mechanical side in me. It's not a lot of money. If you mess up, you can fix it. There's plenty of parts. Like, I'm saying all this to say, if you're wanting to get into cars or drag racing or anything mechanical, if you can find one of these, or any Hyundai for that matter, even if you found an Elantra, you can get an Elantra from like 97 all the way to like 2010. Any of those Elantras, or even if you found a Tiburon, a 2.0 Tiburon, any of those cars, they already bring the motor, and you can find them stick shift. There's a lot of Elantras that are stick shift. The Elantras have the longer gears because they're more of the commuter car. If you can find one of those, you could turbo that thing, put a good clutch in it, put a Mega Squirt on it, put a 450 Walboro fuel pump, put like a nice like dash 6 feed line, some nice injectors, some like I'm about to put some Deca 80-pound injectors in this thing. What it has right now is Snake Eater injectors. I think it has like 1200 cc injectors. But you could find an Elantra for like no money. People don't care about them. Turbo that thing, and like you could go beat up on some pretty decently fast Hondas. Like, or it'll definitely be faster than like a lot of cars out on the road, I'll tell you that. Like, people are so like interested in newer vehicles, and I get it, but like not everybody has the pocket to just go buy a newer vehicle. Like, I have a newer vehicle. I'm not interested in doing anything to it. It's completely stock. All I've done is lower this thing down and put wheel spacers on it and tint it. I haven't done a thing to this car. Like, it's cool. I love driving it, but it's not like, this is cool. And when I get the Fox body done and I get that rolling, that's cool. This, like, people already expect you to be an idiot driving one of these things. I'm low key when I drive this thing. I don't try to race people. I'm just chilling. But this thing, when you can pull up to a Cars and Coffee or a drive-through window or a gas station and people are like, what the hell is that? Every time I go to the track and I put this thing on the two-step, the whole track clears out. Like, it's like I have a whole, like, everyone wants to know what it is. Everyone thinks it's a Honda motor. Everyone has questions. This thing right here is cool. Like, this thing is a conversation starter. Yeah, let's get to it, guys. When I first started working on these things, I never realized the importance of making sure every single stud and nut was on these things. But until you have a turbo car, you realize how important it is, because you'll start getting little black soot marks everywhere where basically exhaust is leaking. And you don't, in a turbo car, exhaust leaking, not good. Just to show you guys I'm not BSing. Look at those junkyard marks. Those, when you see that paint marker on a motor or any component, that's junkyard for you. I didn't even paint this block. I usually clean them up and paint them, but junkyard, guys. When you can still go buy parts and stuff at a junkyard, to me that stuff's cool, man. It's just cool. So, motor's almost out. I just got a couple things to pull out. I gotta pull out these mounts, and then I gotta just pull off this radiator real quick. I think it, pretty sure it has, that doesn't feel great. Oh, these hoses are just a little dry, maybe? That feels really bad. Yeah, that does not feel good. I need to pull the radiator out. I need to drain the the water. I used to run water in it. Pull this out, and then pull the mounts off, and then this thing will be loose and pretty much ready to get lifted out. So easy. I don't remember putting a bolt on this drain plug, but that's all right. I feel like this is gonna come out pissed off. Yep, what I tell you. Jesus. Oh. Dripping everywhere. These are just water. That's the cool thing about race car stuff. That's literally just tap water, so whatever. Who's ready to do some boating, man? Also, this is project number 2. We got to get the Hyundai done first, and my grandpa's OBS has to get worked on. You guys already know kind of what I want to do with this thing. It already has a 6-liter LS 4L80E. This is a super base model truck, but I'd love to put AC. I'd love to lower it like a 5.7 or 4.6 20s. Stay tuned for that. Summer, hurry up. All right, I want to help some guys out that might get into one of these cars and maybe runs into one of these issues. If you ever pull a transmission out of one of these things, or if you ever pull a motor out, the mount bracket, it's like 2 bolts. Pull it off. There's another one in the back, transmission mount bracket, another one in the back. Pull it off. Let's see. Pull that guy off. See it? Couple bolts, couple 17 millimeters. If you don't pull that off, you're just gonna fight yourself forever. Like, it literally took me like years to just pull that off. Like, I don't understand why for years just like, oh yeah, I'll just leave it on there. It's fine. And I've gotten them in and out like that, but it is a pain in the ass. Just pull that off. All right, guys, motor is coming out all in one, and everything's looking good. Just gonna pull her out real quick, and then like I said, going on the engine stand. All right, guys, she's out. Easy peasy. So as you can see, I got a lot of crap that I'd like to clean up. So like this monstrosity of a harness that I threw together, like, depresses me. Like, this is all going bye-bye. All that crap. It was like I was trying to tap into the stock harness, and I was trying to do it. Just like, here's a stock harness there. Like, no, we ain't doing that. So all this is going bye-bye. This is going inside, and I'm pulling the stock stuff out. I'm cleaning the engine bay back up. I'm only going to put what I need. Like, you know, the AC lines are obviously going to go here. I'm excited to throw that AC stuff in there. I think Honestly, I think if I have an easy day tomorrow, I'm gonna try to go source some stuff from the junkyard because I need to test fit the AC first because that's what I feel like is the most important. So, yeah. All right, guys, we got her up on the stand. Easy peasy. Yeah, so it's time to tear into the timing belt. We'll do the water pump. We'll replace this pulley here. We'll probably do an alternator belt. We'll replace all the gaskets. I'm probably going to run a different intake manifold, just a Beta 2. This is a Beta 1 intake manifold. I'm probably going to just run the Beta 2 with a stock throttle body because this is all garbage. Like, I don't trust this throttle body at all. And then we'll just go in and clean it and make sure everything is good. We'll put the new injectors on when those come. And we'll put a new intake gasket and valve cover gasket. The oil pan seems to not be leaking, so I'm probably just going to leave it. I don't know if it's a front seal. The front seal looks fine. It looks pretty dry. There's a little bit of oil there, but I'm not sure. We definitely needed to do a flywheel. It's all chewy. So other than that, and then maybe I'll mount the AC compressor too when I go get one on the engine stand so I can see all my clearances and how everything's kind of going to work out. So anyways, guys, please stay tuned and please follow along with this build. I'll try to keep going consistently, but I'm also going to need you guys' support, man, and let me know what you guys think about this thing, man. I really want to see this thing next summer on a 90-degree day, running good coolant temperatures, not overheating, windows up. I would love to have it wrapped, but you know, things happen. If it's not wrapped, whatever. But I would love to have this thing looking good, running AC, turboed, can take it to the drag strip, run 1150s, drive it home. I want to put a flex fuel sensor on this thing and be able to run pump gas and E85. Yeah, guys, let me know what you guys think. So, as always, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Please hit the like button. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Cheers.
Bring it. Bring it. Oh, you little crackhead. You little freaking crackhead.